Well, we've already had the deep state in panic mode over Kash Patel becoming confirmed as the head of the FBI. And ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present to you the new deputy director of the FBI. I'm not even going to say his name, okay? I'm not even going to say his name. I'm just going to play this person talking about, you know what, let's talk about the raid at Mar-a-Lago. Watch.
Folks, the FBI is lost. It's broken, irredeemably corrupt at this point. The inexcusable raid on President Trump's home was the straw that broke the camel's back. I mean it when I say it. It's way past time to clean this FBI house up. They have burned every last shred of faith and trust freedom-loving Americans had in it. Every single person involved in this needs to be fired immediately. When President Trump hopefully runs again and takes the White House, every single person at the top of the DOJ and the FBI who cannot raise their right hand and pledge allegiance to our Constitution, not to a political party, needs to be fired yesterday. And then when the left starts whining in the media, fire 100 more the next day. Do not even let them breathe. Everyone has to go. You do not live in a constitutional republic anymore, and there is no fixing this. There is only rebuilding it.
Yes, our new deputy director of the FBI, former New York City police officer and former Secret Service agent, the Dan Bongino, will now be helping Kash Patel clear out the FBI. Every day I wake up and it's like Christmas. I just can't even. I mean, I'm like, this just keeps getting better and better and better, because now you know that you have two men who are dead set on shifting, the FBI from this centralized DC bureaucracy that, I mean, you just heard Dan Bongino say it. Nobody could talk about it better than he just did. It's totally corrupt to its core. You got to burn the whole thing down, get rid of all of the bloat, get rid of all of the DC swamp rats, and stop weaponizing every single agency of this federal government against half of the population. That'd be great for a start, And so now you have, by the way, I'm not upset about Kash Patel, but I see the deputy director, and I'm like, the deputy doesn't have to go. Does the deputy have to go through confirmation?
No.
And that's why I'm like, oh, I see why you did that. Yeah. I see what you did there. Deputy doesn't have to go through confirmation, so you can name whoever the hell you want, regardless of how the left feels about it and how upset they get. And by the way, regardless of how the rhinos feel about it, because you would imagine that this is going to upset some of them and some of their friends as well. And now I have just so much confidence that we are going to burn this thing down and start anew. And I'm just really excited.
I'm so confused about confirmations anyway, because in some agencies they go much low. You have to go much lower and deeper in the food chain, the command structure. But from what I understand, Bongino does not have to go through that. And by the way, and I'm not going to throw a wet blanket over the enthusiasm.
You better not, Steve.
Well, I mean,
frickin' not, Steve.
We love his rhetoric. And we loved also Kash Patel's pre-nomination rhetoric about turning the Hoover building into a museum. Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I want, too. That's what I want. That's not going to happen. I mean, they are not going to do what I wish they would do, the FBI, which was, first of all, just turn them into an investigative organization, take their guns away from them, and when they prove or they solve a case and they provide all of the documentation and the facts, then you turn that over to the local sheriff and let them make the arrest. See, that's what I want from an FBI.
Yeah,
we need a federal investigative agency because they can just afford to do more and better.
Sure.
Better toys.
Well, I'm not going to let Steve ruin my party. Okay. I would also say that Kash Patel told the Bureau officials Friday that he wanted to send 1,000 agents from the Washington area to field offices across the country, 500 support staff members reassigned to their campus in Alabama. So I don't disagree with you that the end goal that you're talking about would be nice, but decentralizing it and moving these guys out of D.C. is a very great start, I would say.
I think they got community noted It was actually, I think, 1,500 when they posted
1,500?
that. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I just saw that this afternoon that they actually said, no, you got the numbers wrong. It's actually more.
Interesting. Oh, I love that.
Well, I think it's very, very important to note something about what is going on in this government. And that is...
What is that, Matt?
All right, mate, I'm going to tell
me
you.
what it
I'm
is.
going to give it to you how it is, all right? Is that you have someone like Dan Bongino, who was a career policeman, who took the vow. He's the real deal. Like, he really... I remember when he very first came on the scene... He was always very, very, and that's the reason why he's done so well. I mean, by the way, he's got an MBA. He's very, very smart. He's got a master's in something else as well. So these people going on about him not being qualified is just ridiculous. But these people want the rule of law. And I'll tell you right now, if that was a raid on Joe Biden's house that was illegal, he would say the same thing. Right? This is the difference. He would say the same thing if it was a inappropriate use of force against a Democrat, because these guys are about the law. And
well, hold on. I'd like to just interject here and just remind everyone that Dan Bongino was Secret Service for Obama. So, he still
was willing to die.
That's what I'm saying.
Take a bullet for
Obama.
Look. I mean, one of the most amazing things that I experienced when I was doing Transformers, the second Transformers movie, there was it was when Obama won, and I was out at a bar with a bunch of Navy SEALs, and I said, "How'd you feel?" And as we were talking earlier on, like, that's a 95% Republican audience right there. Right. And they went, "He's our commander in chief, and we'll serve him. It's no different to us." And as a Brit, like, that was amazing to see that they were just like, it's no different. Right. The mission is no different. I do my job. It's the same with someone like Dan Bongino. Yeah. Unfortunately, what has happened is we all know that the FBI has been politicized. It has. It has. As my friend Tim Clemente said, here's the issue: the top and the bottom. The middle, for the most part, are good.
Sure.
The top political appointees, or they've made their way up, right? This is what Trump's doing with the generals as well, right? Those are political people that kind of figured their way up to the top. And that's why you saw a lot of colonels going, I'm not going any further up the chain because then I've got to kiss the ring and I'm not going to do it. And so what the top guys did was they hired a bunch of lefties at the bottom. So I think that what you're going to see is this kind of like elimination of people at the top, people at the bottom. A lot of them are going to leave anyway because they're not going to want to work for these guys, right? But it bodes well. You're not raining on our parade, right,
no,
Baker?
I'm not. I'm just saying.
Happening.
I'm just saying. I love the rhetoric, and in fact, I wish they would even go much further. That's what I want.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that there's going to be the realities of governance, and there's going to be some hard decisions made. There's going to be people let go that are good people because they're looking at a spreadsheet rather than the individual, and they're going to be wiping entire divisions and out, and that's going to be tough. And we're going to hear about it, and MSN's going to roll their sob stories out and get prepared. We're going to hear some Republicans that voted for Trump that are going to lose their jobs, and they're going to be crying on CNN about it.
Well, they're welcome to go back and reapply for a job that we need. I think they will.
Well, and that's what that's what I've been telling the sources that I've been talking to, particularly in the intelligence community, is that look, once this all settles, there's going to be a lot of good people that left, good workers that left because they don't want to work for Trump or they don't want to work for Elon or whoever. And there's going to be openings again. So there's going to be spots coming back.
Right.
Well, we saw this with the vaccines, right? So the people that got canned on the vaccines, there's a door open for them to come back now. So I think it'll be the same with the FBI and with these other agencies where they'll come back. Because the ones that get canned, they're not going to want to come back, right? But some of the ones that reapply, it's the same thing like with when they're saying, give us your 5 things that you did last week.
Don't jump ahead.
Oops.
You shut your mouth. Okay.
Oh, it's a setup for you.
We're going to go to break, and then we're going to talk about the thing that he just preemptively started talking about, okay? If you like this clip and you want to see the full episode, click here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, come on, you know you do. Click here.